Thanks for staying with us here on the Mountain Morning Show. We're just coming off Earth Week last week and Earth Day, which happened over the weekend. So we still have recycling and green initiatives still fresh on our mind. And I gotta say, they should be on our mind all throughout the year, not just during Earth Week, but it is a good time of the year to kind of encourage others and more people to get involved in the green processes and to reduce and reuse and recycle. For that, right now we have Haley Lebsack here, who is the Director of Communications and Outreach for Recycle Utah, to discuss some of their programs that have just passed and some upcoming ones as well. Haley, how are you doing?
Good, how are you today?
Excellent, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Obviously, Recycle Utah is a huge facet of the reduce, reuse, recycle part of Utah here. So let's talk about some past events, and then we'll move forward onto some upcoming events. How was Earth Week and Earth Day for you guys?
Earth Day was wonderful. We started off with a garbage pickup at Swanner Preserve. We sorted the recycling, so what we could from the Swanner Preserve, what we could recycle, we took. We estimate we collected about 60 pounds of trash.
Wow.
One of the most important things I think people can take away from that is the majority of that was plastic bags.
And this is on an eco-preserve.
Yep. So this is stuff that blows off the freeway. It was all on the preserve limits. So obviously it's not stuff that's been dropped on the preserve. I would hope. I'd hope most people aren't going out there just dumping their taking their garbage on their nature hike. But it's just something when we talk about using reusable items and things, it was mainly plastic. There were some cans and a few glass bottles here and there, but it was mainly plastic cups, plastic bags, things that could easily blow, things that the birds and the fish that live on the preserve like to eat because they don't recognize that it's not food. So if you have the option to take something reusable, take a reusable coffee cup, take a reusable bag to the grocery store. It was just such a shocking visual. And we were lucky that we had some Girl Scout groups and some student clubs that were there that helped in the recognition on the kids' faces of like,
wow, this is a problem.
Whoa, Miss Mary, Miss Haley, look at all this. Where did this all come from?
Yeah.
And it was just 1.5 hours of cleanup. We picked
1.5 hours, 60 pounds in 1.5 hours?
Yeah.
Oh my, okay. So this is like something that is just always, regardless of the numbers, it always shocks me, I think, to see how drastic this problem has become. And I think you said plastics, that usually tends to be 80 to 90% of the waste that could be recycled that ends up getting dumped, you know, wherever really.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that it shows that the eco-preserve, like you said, it wasn't like someone was going out and dropping this stuff. This shows you that regardless of where we're taking care of it, we still have issues that all of this can blow over and transfer over to places that were not intended first off. So, but it sounds like you guys did have a successful Earth Day in the sense that you guys picked up a lot, you guys raised some funds as well.
Yep, we ended the night at Wasatch Brew Pub up at the top of Maine. They generously donate their space, their food, their delicious beer every year for a dinner where we do kind of just a celebration of our education programs. Recycle Utah educates about 5,000 kids a year in Summit County. And this event helps fundraise for it. We're not sure on total numbers right now. We're hoping it was a little over 10,000 was raised to go back to that program. We also raise money for our adult education program, so we host events every other month called Green Drinks. Okay. It's at a local business, our local green business, so it's a business that's committed to sustainable practices. We'll host an event. The topics vary. This May 9th, excuse me, our topic is transportation at Este Pizza. Okay. It's just a chance for people to come chat about sustainable practices, see what else is going on in the community. Even for someone like me who's a very sustainable person, when I went to the one at Kimball Art Center last month about water, I was kind of like, oh, wow, I'm not as green as I thought when it comes to water conservation.
That's the thing about conservation is always learning new tricks and tips to kind of preserve a little bit more, conserve a little bit more, and be more conscious of how much we use, right? Because I think a lot of it is just, it's so, like, I heard the analogy, something like turning on your faucet is like breathing at some point. It just happens, right? You don't think about it. It's just such a natural thing that you aren't conscious of how much you're using. So these education programs that you guys provide are supposed to be the antithesis to that, so to provide people with education so they realize what's going on when they're using, right? And so let's talk about some upcoming events as well. One of the bigger ones of the year is coming up this weekend over at the Canyons.
So it's spring cleaning time in Park City and across the world. We host household hazardous waste days twice a year. Our first one is this Saturday at the Canyons, 9 to 1 p.m. It is for Summit County household residents only. We've been doing this for longer than I've lived in Park City. Someone will be there collecting zip codes, and we just ask that it stays with households. It's pretty obvious when a business comes in. Okay. We operate as a nonprofit. We would love to be able to take everything, but we can only afford to support the households. So we ask that businesses look at waste management is a cost of operating businesses. We collect about, last year, it was about 420,000 pounds of hazardous waste.
So what are some of the items included in this hazardous waste? Obviously electronics and batteries.
Electronics, batteries, paint, medicines and vitamins. Springback Mattress, which is a wonderful organization down in Salt Lake, takes mattresses. That is the only thing we charge for. It's a $10 fee per item. Springback then takes apart the mattresses and recycles the items.
Oh, very nice.
They do an amazing job.
So basically, these are all items that you would not want to go back into the groundwater, back into the soil, back into, and I think it's important, obviously we want to encourage as many people in the Park City community, as many people in Utah to recycle all of their goods that they can, but especially these hazardous materials, especially when you have an event like the one coming up on Saturday, for free to the Park City residents, aside from the $10 mattress fee maybe, but aside from that, everything else is free, and we highly encourage you to go and recycle these hazardous materials so they don't end up back in our groundwater, back in our soil, affecting the wildlife and the environment around us, which obviously we're very grateful for here in Park City, right?
Yep. And I always laugh, it's the Park City way to do your waste management. You don't even have to get out of your car. So you'll pull into the canyons. We partner with Snyderville Basin Reclamation District, Park City Municipal, Summit County, and then Sunrise Rotary. So there are a lot of volunteers out there that will help direct you through. There's an area to drop off your paint, an area to drop off your batteries, an area to do your mattresses. They will take it out of the car. All you have to do is drive the stuff up there. We'll handle it for you.
Very nice. And I want to talk about volunteers in just a minute, but before we head there, let's talk about a little bit further on in the year. We head up into May, about 24th, you said, is Dumpster Day? Dumpster Days.
So anything that's not recyclable, is not hazardous waste material, you can bring to our Dumpster Days. That happens at the recycling center, the May 24th through May 26th. Basically, think of it as like typical household dumpster items that don't fit into your garbage. So yard waste possibly, maybe a larger piece of wood that you've pulled out of your reconstruction or something. It's not your household regular waste, not your normal under the sink garbage can that you can bring. Again, that is household stuff. It just open up at the center. You can bring it by anytime. And it's just a service that we provide so people don't have to drive out to landfill.
Excellent. And then lastly, kind of just to wrap things up, I did want to talk about volunteer opportunities. Obviously, you guys are always looking for more volunteers to help aid in the process of collecting all of this recyclable materials. Where can people go to keep up to date, not only with you guys, but also maybe how to get in touch with some volunteer opportunities?
If they're interested in volunteering, they can actually email me at outreach@recycleutah.org. Or they can give us a call, 435-649-9698. We're always looking for volunteers at the center to help answer questions, sort items. It's, it's kind of whatever comes up kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And if they're looking for more information on our events, everything is listed on our website at recycleutah.org.
Excellent. Haley, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, that was Recycle Utah. You can head over to their website, recycleutah.org. But be sure, for all Summit County residents, obviously, to head over to the canyons this weekend for Hazardous Materials Recycling Day. There you can drop off electronics, batteries, paints, medicines. They'll even have Springback Mattress of down in Salt Lake City, correct, to recycle some mattresses there as well for a small $10 fee. Highly encourage you to get out there and keep up to date with everything that's happening there so you can always be in the reduce, reuse, recycle mindset. Much more to come here on the Mountain Morning Show. Don't go anywhere.